Bingi. Give thanks. Glorify Emperor Haile Selassie I. Heart of Lent. For win universal. Give thanks for cutting it, clearing. Moving all obstacles out of the way. Radio I know. Yes, Royal Family, thanks for your presence with us on such a wonderful day, a wonderful moment. Again, we definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. We glorify Nikus and Agas in all our doings and all of our sayings. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. Again, a great joy on this, the moment, really the day where we enter into what is referred to as the Amenta. We glorify the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Give thanks for such a man, Melchizedek, with us, who would have taught us the order of the priesthood. Give thanks for such a strength within this time. Again, of course, you are in tune to Radio Anu. This is the international flavor. This is the universal spice, and we are reaching out to the full community with joy. At this moment, now we are entering into what is known as the 40th day and the 49th moment of fasting. We had a wonderful program previous evening on the Tiger's Nest. Those of you who were not present for the Tiger's Nest program previous evening, we were talking about the hero twins, and I can promise you that we will replay that program this evening after the Tiger's Nest for tonight. So family, give thanks again for your presence with us, and we can definitely promise you, even within the realms of the Tiger's Nest going through, as always, we will be penetrating, we will be looking into a lot of the different aspects of the Lenten moment, of the Lenten period. It is the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards who would have risen this concept amongst us, as we were saying even previous evening, what they call last night on the Tiger's Nest. This is not something that has been created even by the evil world. They may have adopted it and falsified it and watered it down as they do everything, but they did not originate. In fact, the wicked world really hasn't originated none of the concepts and philosophies that you hear them push. Even Christianity, an individual may shun away from it and say, oh, well, I don't believe in that stuff, and I don't believe nobody died and resurrected, and all of that. I understand how you feel. We're not promoting any horror film here neither, but the ancient concept of the Messiah figure, the ancient concept of the charis, of the Amsu, going into the Amenta and returning from under the underworld to become the constellation of Sahu. That is an ancient concept. Again, as I explained previous night on the tiger's nest, from ancient times, we observed the movement of the sun and the cycle in the heavens and how it would set and how it would rise. You know, again, going into what we would visualize as the underworld. But I also explained that the science of the sun was much deeper than the kindergarten level of the sun setting and the sun rising. But even the cycle of the sun, the 11-year sunspot cycle of the sun, and how it mimics the feathered snake when it's being portrayed on a computer graph, but yet still thousands of years, at least 5,000 years ago, we in the ancient Mesoamerican ancient people, the Olmec people, would have already created that concept of the feathered snake, the Quetzalcoatl, which we also see in ancient Kemet with the Tutankhamun. All of this has to do with the cycle of the sun, S-U-N, the sun, S-O-N. So we already comprehended how to connect the ancient science, the ancient astronomy, the movement of the stars, the movement of planets, constellation, the sun, you know, and we would have expressed it in hieroglyphic form or medu neter. And yet still all of that would have crystallized itself in history and reality in Haile Selassie I, the living Amsu, Haile Selassie I, the living Karis, who went into the underworld, who went into the Amenta, who bare the 5 bleeding wounds, as the prophecy says, who bear the 5 bleeding wounds, as the heaven says. If you understand the movements of Venus every 8 years making that 5-point star. So it's deep, you know, family. It's reality. So when you see us portray this every year, this is not religion. This is ancient African science. Yes, I would admit it's extremely ritualistic, but that's, I mean, everything is a ritual. Just to eat alone is a ritual. Some people say, oh, well, they are, well, no, I deal with spirituality. You know, I don't deal with religion. What is religion, by the way? Oh, that's a set of rules and things you do and you don't do. Okay. Spirituality. You see some people, they tell you, no, I'm not into that. I sit and I meditate. I do yoga. You see, you put your hands like this and you breathe, all of that. You see, now that's a ritual. That is something you actually do, you know. Even if you are fasting, that's a literal ritual. The fact that you are abstaining from the food, you're actually doing something. The point I'm making really is, you know, family, that anything that has to enhance the spirit must be an action that you either do or you don't do. You know, you may not want to label it ritualistic, but it's a ritual. So this ritual that we perform every year, and we cover in white for the fasting, because white is really the color of fasting, really, you understand? And we go through that same period that is known as Lent to the world. Yes, that's what it's known to the world. We call it that period of 40 days and 40 nights. I personally refer to it as the moment as we enter into the Amenta. Too much of the crucifixion talk, well, yeah, we understand the science of the story, but more important to concentrate on is the resurrection. All now, so is resurrection and our, you understand, because we're cutting and clearing. So when you go into the underworld, you make your stumbling blocks become your stepping stone. Yeah, because it's all about that, you know. You see, family, that's the whole idea of you entering into a period where you're going to humble the flesh and you're going to put away food for a specific time on a daily level. I'm telling you, make sure the mind is straight. I would not encourage anyone to enter this sort of activity with any bad thinking, with any grudgeful thinking, with any bad-mindedness, with any selfishness. This is why when you fast, you are encouraged to give. You're encouraged to share. you're encouraged to express kind words at least. You know, this is why even in scripture you are taught not to go around looking, oh boy, I'm fasting. 30 something days now, and you're walking with a stick and act as if you're gonna soon fall down. No, the scripture says make sure you adorn yourself properly and wash your face and let the people see that you are shining even while you are fasting. This is not nothing you're going out trying to show that you're carrying the heaviest burden in the world. No, your physical self is going through a cleansing, number one. And we'll be speaking about all of these things as we go through this 40-day and 40-night period, which is more than that as well. There's so many things that we have to speak about, but let me keep on track here. So as you're going through this, there's a cleansing that's taking place, a physical cleansing, a detoxification that's literally taking place, as you continue to keep the rhythm, depending on the type of fast that you're doing, all of these different things. As you know, someone may be taking a bigger bite than some. Someone's maybe fasting until 12 midday every day. And the real convenient cup fast that was set down that we know of is that you break the fast at midday, and of course you begin to fast again at 2 o'clock. You understand? Many ones do not hold on to that anymore, like maybe in the ancient time and the campus period or the campus environment. Many ones fast until midday and maybe lock it off at that. That's really about it. Some ones try their best to return back to the 2 p.m. fasting and go into it and give thanks for those who can keep up that strength. As you know, for myself, for those who do know, it's when I fast, I do the full thing. I don't think I've ever taken up a fast within this order where I did it a half a fast, or I'm gonna take it light this year, or no, the fullness. So it's either the 12 when you fast until 12 and you repeat, you take it up on 2, or you go until the setting of the sun and you take it up again at 8, going into whatever grace period that you give yourself. You understand, royal family? So you must know what you can do. But again, the fasting period is a cleansing period, and is a period where you pay attention to your spirit. It's a period where you're paying attention to your soul, because remember, you don't have a soul, Huh? No, you don't. You have a soul. I don't have no soul. I don't have no soul. I am a soul. I have a physical body, a physical goodie, but I am a soul. Now you see that when I said I don't have a soul, this is some jumbie business here. Okay, you see? Because we are taught to think that this is us, the physical, which it is, I'm not saying it's not. The physical is us, and we have, some sort of reverse psychology. We have a spirit. This is us, which it is. But we're taught that it's us, and this we have a spirit and we have a soul. That's why when this pass on and it lay down, people just pay attention to the physical and watch it and go around it, and we're waiting until somebody come, and that just all concentration into that. But what about the soul? What about the spirit? Because the soul and the spirit, they don't have no birthday, at least not 1950 whatever, 1980 this and 1990 that. No, into infinity. So the soul is the real you. That's you. This is an experience that you are having in the mystics of time and the epochs of existence. As this human being here at the time, and you would have been doing this several times as well, but you are the soul. So you see, when you enter into a period of humility or humbling yourself as such, with the fasting and fasting and praying, they go together. It is a concentration that you are giving to the soul and to the spirit. Fasting from physical food is like a buffet for the spirit. The spirit is feasting now. The soul is feasting now on the bliss. And again, the fact that the whole physical is cleaning out and detoxifying itself, not just in one day. And even in one day, I mean, one day of fasting alone is so beneficial. Just a day, one single day is so beneficial, much more to say we're going on a 40-day. Remember, this is what we call remittent fasting. It's not like we're not eating nothing at all for 40 days and that kind of stuff. No, we know that. It's like a fast and stop, and then start and stop. But when you stop, it's for a moment of time, and then you return, and that's a very healthy type of fast. We did a whole program on that previous year, and of course we'll be going into all of that this year, more so on the tiger's nest. As I said, even this evening, the tiger's nest from previous evening, where we were talking about the hero twins. We will repeat that program after tonight's Tiger's Nest. So you'll get a double dose of Tiger's Nest, which you usually do after the Tiger's Nest tonight. After we come on live tonight, we will replay the Tiger's Nest from previous evening as we were speaking about the hero twins, which was talking about the underworld. You should listen to that. You should make sure you get that. Unless you're a subscriber, you would have maybe already had it already. But the underworld, we go into the underworld and speak about, that whole science of the resurrection. Because you see, this is a mind thing. That's why it's praying and fasting. So that's why you don't want to be fasting with the mind corrupted. You understand? That is why during this time, certain things you try your best to put them away. You don't, not that you should even be into them, but you try to stay away from certain places, things that maybe you watch. You try to keep yourself from watching certain things that places you may go, and even people you may go around, reality, just so that you focus and meditate on the purely spiritual things as much as possible. Business is spirituality. What are you talking about? Business is spirituality. You know the story of the talent, don't you? Exactly. So it's a time of focus, because again, when you are fasting and keeping food as such from your structure for a specific time frame, then you see the power of the mental. Even the things that you think about will manifest much easier. So that's why you want to concentrate on the real positive, the real spiritual, the real holy things. That's why when you fast, you even fast with an agenda. You know what you want to see happen, what you want to see fulfilled. You wake up in the morning and you write it every day, and you put it down, what you intend to happen. Or you could even write it in the present tense, depending on what stage you are, as if it happened already, as powers. I mean, you utilize the energy of the fasting even to manifest a lot of these different things, So that is why I'm telling you, put away the bad-mindedness. If you know that, you have some sort of grudge within you, try to work on that. Even within your own self, you don't have to have a problem with anyone. You may just have a sad spirit that you're carrying, or some miserable vibe. No. If you can't handle the news, ease off of the news for the fasting. That's what I meant by maybe things you would be watching. You understand? Maybe you like to watch gangster movie, or just some kind of movie and people dying over and cars turning upside down and blood all over the place. Now you're fasting. You should try your best. Because again, that's what real fasting does. It brings you to a humble state. When you're not fasting and you just don't eat and you feel good again, and it's different. But when you see you're under a vibes, now let me be clear here, personally. In the decade plus, maybe almost 2 decades, I've been doing this type of fasting. I've never gone through a period where it would have affected me, that I said, boy, that this is hard. You feel it, obviously, especially, but all of that is a part of the joy. when you can say, yeah, and you're still. When a moment comes on you and you just still and you actually slow down to some degree and you feel the spirit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, come on, it's like it's as if the angels are with you, Rastafari. You know, ones always speak of King Emmanuel, and they say King Emmanuel would do something that they refer to as he would travel, where he looked like maybe sleeping and yeah, yeah. But they say he traveling, they never see like he not in our none they just see the fact he like that. The father just there, holding our vibes. You know, it's deep, is the spirit. When you see it deep in the spirit, because the spirit is you. You know, the spirit is connecting more to the spiritual realm, so the physical body that utilizes this that the spirit is utilizing kind of take a little rest. That's what happens when you actually go to so-called sleep. Sleep, as they call it, is one of the deepest, heaviest forms of meditation if we knew how to sleep properly. Some of us, we can't sleep properly. In fact, that's why we're sleeping. We should be resting and meditating at the same time. So as you could see, it's a deep subject area, just the whole 40 day and 49 entering into the Amenta period that we are now entering into. And for those who utilize it properly, I am telling you, it's something that is extremely beneficial. It is something that will reap great rewards on whatever level. I mean, you have to understand, what is life? What's the purpose? Why are you here? You understand? Because whatever material you have or don't have, I think in reality, some of us miss the point, but I think everyone wants to be comfortable. Everyone specifically, I don't think no one wants to be in pain. You understand? Now, it depends on what your comfort is, because to me, comfort, I definitely would love to see my brothers and sisters in comfort too. You understand? In the same way that I'm in comfort. This is why rising the order of King Emmanuel, rising the kingdom of the Black Christ internationally is my primary goal, which I believe should be the goal of all those who follow this order. When I say primary goal, like the main goal, and I've already mapped out how it's supposed to be done. And we speak about these things from every now and again. But again, even during the Lenten time, these are subject areas that will come up. So you see, this is really a time where you harness a specific type of energy. Just like a chalice load, we just waste them energies here. But you see, as we are maturing, we have to know, yeah, the chalice load, we just waste the energy. But as we are maturing, we have to know to harness these energies properly. Man, remember when you hold a chalice in your hand, the man is the genie lamp you have there. You rub it and you make your wishes. But we burn up pipe and move and don't understand what powers we would have emitted out there, especially if it was done right. Chalice clean, herb clean, we're not burning no wacky tobacco, and the proper prayer water clear, you're well robed down, chalice with fasting. I mean, come on, man, you can make the earthquake and proper prayer and the universe listening to your heart and the Lord of hosts on the throne literally corresponding with you. We have them powers. Remember, you do not have a soul, You are the soul. You are the spirit. You're utilizing the physical, but you see, we think this is it. Like this is it, the man in the mirror, and it's done. Yeah, give thanks. Take care of the man in the mirror too. In fact, most people, right, that are just into their physical self and forget about the spirit, they're not into their physical self. It is those of us who are into our spiritual self and our soul. We are the ones that are into our physical self. So don't get it caught up like, oh, he's into the physical. We're into the spiritual. No, 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 no. You're into both. Don't leave the physical. You crazy? What are you talking about? Everything got to be in a good, proper balance. And anyone that say they're into one and not the other, they're not into the other. They're not into none of them. Because personally, you look at someone that you may say, oh, they're just into their physical self. They're vain. All right. Are they really taking care of themselves? Not because they're going to the gym and all of that. You know, that's good. You understand? But then that's a next level all by itself. You know, most people that are into that and all of that, it's not as if they are literally taking care of themselves. Man, these fellas will drink any formula so that they can puff up and puff up. But a person that is into the spiritual aspect of themselves and understand the importance of connecting with the divine and with the cosmos and with guardian angels and ancestors and all of that, and understand the importance of history and the truth. Even if they do all of that, they're going to be cautious with, hey, no, I don't want to drink that. I want to seek out someone that is more, you know, a naturopath to guide me and counsel me and train me into building my muscle structure and my mass without drinking any egg and all of that soya stuff and whatever else they're putting in that protein shake that they're making for the other fellas. You understand? So that means now, again, because you're spiritually inclined and you're spiritually on the watchtower, you're also checking for the physical. You know, that's why most people that check for the spiritual self. They check for what they eat. You find them saying, well, we got to stop eating this meat or stop eating that stuff, or because they're checking for the spiritual self. I can speak of myself for sure. It's the spiritual self that led me to stop eating animals. You know, anyone that consider themselves spiritual and they eat in a lot of different animals, and so no disrespect, to be honest, that's more religion. You know, maybe they started out spiritual, you know, and they held on to a religion that they became their spirituality, and they're very dedicated to it. You know, so they just hold on. You know, I mean, come on, I know many Bobo Shanti, especially here in Antigua, because in Antigua, real Rasta don't eat no animal, you know, no fish, nothing. I just telling you the truth. You understand? That's not the concept of Rasta in Antigua, to be eating no fish. And they have man that rise up as Bobo Shanti here, not eating no fish. But when they meet other Bobo Shanti, I just tell you the truth. Or maybe they go to Bobo Shanti here like myself and see the fish frying. They come back and they start eat fish. Not me, all fish. No, man, I don't eat no animal. Nobody can tell me nothing. Who vexes the business that? Man not supposed to eat no animal. You can talk all day long if you want to debate. It don't matter who you are. I can stand up. I can hold my ground. You can't even begin to talk. No human being should be eating no animal. You can talk all day long and open the Bible and say Christ feed how much people and how much miracle. Yeah, I get in a bit emotional here. Let me cool down. But yeah. The point is, I'm not in no animal eating, and they can't eat no fish during Lent neither. You understand? You see? Can't eat no fish during Lent. That alone is supposed to tell us something. Can't eat no fish during Lent. Well, you know, the sea cleaning out. Yeah, it's okay. Because the sea cleaning out, King Emmanuel said that we're supposed to stop eat fish in general for that same reason, because the sea polluted. And because again, I don't want to go too far, but we can give you the source of where that information coming from. You understand? But again, we would have done that already. And the point we're really making here is that during this time, you understand, as a spiritual time, it clearly shows you the more you attend to the spiritual self, the spiritual aspect of yourself will bring divine blessings to the physical aspect of yourself, whether it's longevity, health, wellness, and just what occurs in your life, and mountains that you move, and things that you unplug, and barriers that you break, and again turning specific stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Remember, the fasting also clears the mind, helps you to concentrate. It's just a relaxing thing all within itself. So this is why you have to balance yourself. You can't be too angry, can't be too high. You know, it's like for those of you who are long distance runners, you gotta take your time and start slow. If you're gonna go through the day and you know you're not eating until, okay, maybe you eating at midday, but you really trying to hold on to the order and you're gonna fast again at 2 o'clock. Man, within 4 or 5 days, you're gonna start to feel the stuff. You know, so just take your time and step. When you start the marathon, it's not because you're tired, you start slowing. But you understand it's better you just keep a slow rhythm and pace. So at the end of it, you'll reach to a distance because you can and try start fast. But you know by the time you're halfway through, all the other champions are going to be passing. Hey, what's wrong, Greg? You tired? And just moving on. So take your time and walk fast, as the old people would say. You understand? So even in your movements, you take it. So that is why this, you see, this stuff is really for a whole congregation and a campus where you have people preparing the food. You have people that even go and do whatever shopping is needed. You have people that is gathering to keep the service order, and everyone is getting the same blessing. Not because you're not in the service, they're not getting the service blessing. The man in the service, not in the kitchen, but he going to eat. And right. So it's really a communal thing, you know. That's why fasting is something you really do together, you know. This one away fast and you're by yourself and you alone. It's not really, that's not really the way it was set to be. It's a unity thing, it's a one thing. And we fast together with the same purpose in mind. You know, service time, we have service angels and who participating again, who clean in the courts, who's taking care of the food, who serve the food. We break the fast all at the same time because we're on the same mission, same one away. And then we enter into who cannot go the full distance. Everyone understand all of these different things. This is a spiritual thing. This, and I know the Most High loves to see his children, father and mother, their children together in a unity and oneness. So royal family, give thanks for each and every one that is keeping this moment heartical and cup fast. Of course, obviously, it will be more heartical for more ones, as that is just the environment that most of I and I would be in even at this time. But give thanks for wherever serving be carried out at this moment internationally. Give thanks for your waters from such times and publicly over all obstacles. Thanks forward to the birth of course. But I just encourage ones to continue to stay tuned to Radio Anu, the national flavor in commercial spice. That's where you're going to get the vibes. Yeah, knowledge and education to enrich you and your bones when it comes to vibration. Always something, always something new to learn on Radio Anu. So encouraging you to stay close to this moment, for this Lenten period. And at the same time, in the royal family, make sure you join us every evening for the Tiger's Nest. We will promise that after our presentation this evening, we will be replaying Tiger's Nest that we had previous night with the Hero Twins. What a beautiful program. Beautiful program. So make sure you're with us here this evening. Life giver and the keeper of life, continue to Tiger's Nest. Stay tuned, Radio Anu, and continue celebration of the New Year's.